I'm Rebecca Almon from Ireland, Stapleton, Pryor, and Pasco, and I'm an environmental attorney there. I'm head of the Environmental and Natural Resources Group. I have always wanted to be an environmental lawyer, as long as I can remember. I'm not sure why. I'm not a tree hugger. I don't know how that came about, but I thought that every other practice area was probably terribly boring, like drafting contracts and real estate closings, and it sounds awful. I always thought my clients ought to be the birds and the trees and the water and the sky and whatever else I could protect. So I went to law school in Chicago, and I was in the environmental division there and worked for the US EPA and the Attorney General's office. Then I had 3 kids in 36 months and quit the profession altogether. Stayed home for about 9 years, and my 3 daughters finally were old enough where they could get up and out to school and spend the day in the classroom, and my husband looked at me and said, "Didn't I marry a lawyer? Were you going to help out with anything? You ever doing that again?" So living here in Colorado and having 3 small children, I had to take the bar exam again. So I was the old lady in the back row taking the bar exam. It was quite comical. I couldn't believe these kids with their laptops, because they didn't exist when I was in law school and when I was practicing. So just seeing the sea of laptops and all the kids Googling and iChatting and doing all the things that they're not supposed to be doing while they were in the course to study for the bar was comical to me. And I had a pencil and a piece of paper, and that's how I took notes, and it was very old school, and I realized that it's a whole new ball game. So when I started at my law firm, after having taken almost 10 years off, I went looking for the fax machine, and people were like, "You just PDF that." And I thought, what the heck is a PDF? I had no idea. So I had a lot to learn about the practice of law and how things had changed technologically, but interestingly, none of the environmental statutes had changed, but for one, CERCLA. They included a liability protection, the bona fide prospective purchaser protection under CERCLA, so that folks who wanted to come in and purchase a contaminated property could do so understanding that they had some bit of liability protection for the existing contamination. But other than that, the Endangered Species Act, the Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, nothing had effectively changed in all the time that I was gone. So it was right back at it, and it was a lot of fun. Just dig back in again, and it's been a journey, that's for sure. Right now we have a couple associates that work with me, and we have lots of great and fun and exciting projects, including some brownfields projects. I am on the advisory committee for the Colorado Brownfields Foundation. So it's been, and I was also on the planning committee for the annual conference this year, which we are currently at, and that was exciting because I got to meet a lot of people who have very different interests and from very different walks of life than the legal beagle side of things. So that was kind of fun. I would like to say that Ireland Stapleton's been around almost 90 years, and we have had a long-standing history with the city and county of Denver in terms of representing, I think, the Elitch Gardens development and Winter Park and some of the bigger projects that were tangentially related to the environmental arena, but it really wasn't until I came on board that we've really focused heavily on some of the CERCLA, brownfields, RCRA, oil and gas type environmental work that has been quite a boon for the firm, and it's been a lot of fun. But we are a full service firm, which is nice because we have the corporate, real estate, bankruptcy, tax, you name it, every aspect covered. So we're a full service firm in that respect to a client who has other interests, employment as well, has other interests and needs, just obviously above and beyond what they might need from an environmental perspective. So I'm very proud to be with a tight-knit group of folks who've been around a long time, and nobody has that entitlement because unfortunately all the names on the door have passed. But in a way that's a silver lining, because we all feel like we're kind of in this together and we all own the place equally.